Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about Dragonic Vanquisher. Right now, it is currently Saturday, the 11th of December, and right now we have the V Premium Bouchard Rumble Online Tournament, which is the biggest Vanguard event of the entire year for the English-speaking community. And right now in the top 8, we just got a Vanquisher player make it to top 8, and it's none other than the current world champion, and I think there's no better opportunity than to feature Vanquisher in Zero. So boys and girls and everyone involved, welcome to the Vanquisher deck and fight. This is a deck that you can build from a clan event for very little investment, like 1,000 gems, 1,500 gems of like stamina reset as long as you do your dailies. It is very nice, very sweet, strong deck. Does get outed by resist, so you gotta play some legions to kind of like out the resists here and there, but the deck is very fun, and it's also one of my favorite archetypes, and turned Narukami into one of my favorite clans of all time as a result. So let us talk about it. Where is my beautiful mid skin possessing Narukami deck? There we go. So this is the Vanquisher deck that you can basically build straight from the clan event with very few old cards, actually, which is a banger. Definitely a certified banger that everyone loves to see. So let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. First things first, Dragonic Vanquisher himself is the main grade 3 of the deck. Of course, his GB2 says when you retire an opponent's rearguard by your card effect, he gains plus 3k in a crit, not once per turn, by the way, so this can be used as a finisher at times. And when you stride over him, counterblast 1, choose an opponent's front row rearguard and retire it, and then bind it. So that's the whole mechanic of Narukami in G, is that it doesn't just retire, it also binds, and then later on, when the next support for Narukami comes out, you get rewarded for that big bind zone too, which is very hype. And of course, when plays a Vanguard Circle, plus 3k as well. But sometimes we run into resist cards, right? And we can't bind them, we can't target them. So what do we do then? We go into Dragonic Kaiser Crimson, who legions with the Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion and says Limerick 4. Yes, a legion with Limerick 4. And he says, when your legion mate would use this ability, for that turn, the cost of your legion mate's ability is 0. So you can use Vermilion skill, which is Counterblast 3 to attack the front row, for 0 cost, for free, which is excellent. And on top of that, if you have another unit in the middle column, you can Soul Blast 1 and give himself plus 2k, so you can actually hit for nice numbers to beat Heal Guardians and ask for PGs too. Vermilion, of course, is Counterblast 2, sorry, it was 3 in the TCG, 2 in order to gain plus 2k and attack the entire front row in one attack. So that's kind of your out to the resist matchups. And of course, we play 4 of the Heal Guardians. So the lineup of like 4 Vank, 3 of the Crimson, 2 of the Vermilion is pretty straightforward because you only really Legion in those matchups in general. Now, some of the great cards we have is Chatura. Chatura says it cannot attack rearguards, can only attack the Vanguard, but during your turn it gains plus 3k power, so it's an 11k attacker on its own without being boosted, which is great. And sadly, this next skill got nerfed to be GB1. This used to not have GB1 on it. It says when the attack hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1, draw 1, and choose an opponent's card in the drop zone and bind it. So if you're playing against Legion decks like the Cross, that is how you get rid of those DNs. That's how you get rid of all of those annoying pieces, which is excellent. Then going forward, we play 4 copies of the Voltage Horn Dragon. He says when he attacks the Vanguard while being boosted on GB1, counterblast 1, choose an opponent's rearguard at random but prioritizing the back row, retire it, and then choose 2 cards from your opponent's bind zone, from your opponent's drop zone and bind them. So this card can be replaced. There are quite a few other options. You can play this deck with the Brawler focus, especially with the Fighters Collection cards, and instead play the, the Legion Mate, the actual I always forget the Brawler Legion made the grade 2, but you know the one I mean. So, but it's still a pretty good card, and you can also play like grade 3 Searcher, grade 2s, like whatever you want. But the one card I really recommend playing right now is this guy, the T-Rock. So his first skill, forget about it, right? It's a Brawler related skill, we don't play Brawlers, so forget it. But he has resist. Resist is really important in this meta because this will let you fight against fellow Narukami players, Kagero players until they reach their actual GB2 stride, and it's just great. The resist is really important right now, and if you can play resist, you should be playing it. And then we just finish it off with the 1 of Desert Gunner Shiden, which basically when we play against stuff like Neonectar lets us ignore the tanky intercepts and swing into the face and deliver lethal. You can play more copies if you want, but I think 1 of them is fine. For grade 1s, we play 4 Stride Fodders / Vanquisher Searchers, we play 4 Countercharging Perfect Guards, which are great. We play 3 of the Chain Bolt Dragoon. Not everyone plays this guy, but I actually personally really like him. GB1 once per turn when your opponent's rearguard is retired by your card effect. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater Vanquisher, you can choose a card in your opponent's drop zone and bind it, and then if you did, choose one of your other units and give it plus 2k. So this lets you turn your 9ks into 11k attackers without being boosted, and on top of that, it just overall makes some nice little columns if you have 2 of them on the board as well. And finally, 2 Rising Phoenix, because we can run Rising Phoenix in this deck because we're not playing Brawlers. And then grade 3 Searcher as a starter because we need to hit the Vanquisher or the Vermilion Legion otherwise. Our first stride is usually going to be the Zoras. There are other strides available in JP because of the Fire Collection, but I want this deck to be for the global guys, especially for when you get into set 2 and this clan event comes out, because I think it is a very, very good deck to invest into. For Zoras, you only need 2 to be honest, or 3. When it's seconds of Vanguard, choose an opponent's rear guard randomly, prioritizing the back row and retire it, and choose 2 cards the opponent's drop zone and bind them. So it's a great way to deny your opponent's Legion. And then our GB2 stride is the Conquest Dragon. You can play 2, but honestly it's not that hard to get 4 from the clan event. GB2 once per turn, G Persona Blast, choose an opponent's front row rear guard and retire it. If you did retire, which is very important, if you did retire, then for that turn your front row units all gain plus 5k power, which is great because when your opponent's at 4 and you just want to push and get over the defensive to finish the game, excellent card to go into. So that is a deck, that is the Vanquisher deck all in all. As you can notice, I'm trying to go a bit quicker here because I am playing in the V Premium NA tournament in 20 minutes. So let's run a game, at least before that starts, and then maybe I'll play another game in between rounds, and you guys can have a tournament report as I do as well. Sadly, I'm not playing Vanquisher in the tournament though. I'm choosing a different deck that I love in the G era that is currently not in 0 yet, but hopefully next set or the set after that it will be there. And of course, you guys get to see the media skin, so no Vanquisher animation, but it's not exactly something you write home about. I think the media skin is quite great. Also, cheers. It is Christmas time, right? It's the holiday season. Enjoy your glue wine, everyone. Glue wine, if you don't know, is mulled wine. It's by far one of the best things about Christmas in my opinion, and so everyone that, if you live in Europe or if you live in an area of the world that allows it, I definitely do, or that sells it, I guess, I definitely recommend some blue wine. We're playing against DI, round 1 Pankos. Let's have a good game. I'm very curious, will this be Amon? Amon got some support in Fighters Collection, so it might be. Thinking what else it could be otherwise, like, can't really imagine what else. All right, good starting hand. We have a ride targets, we have a PG, and the heal is gonna go back here. And the Vermilion for Stride Fodders, that's perfect. We can ride our Stride Fodder without any fear, which is great. All right, so let's get into it. Cheers, let's have a good game. It is Amon. It is Amon, so that's pretty exciting. We have another Stride Fodder, so we don't need to worry about riding the Mighty Bolt here. Starter can go to the rear side because, of course, we are going first, so we don't care about the Vanguard boosting as much here. So I think we're off to a pretty good start. The resist against Amon, I don't think it matters as much. Like if we're up against Shadows or up against Narukami or Kagero, which are pretty common, it would matter a lot more. But if it's an Amon deck with the Amon cards in the G-Zone, I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot what the Amon Stride does. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta break it to you, man. I forgot what the card does. We're gonna just go into the stride turn and find out. And, you know, it's gonna be turn 3. My opponent's gonna be going second, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. So checks the Dimension Creeper. So that's gonna be 1 damage dealt to us. Beautiful animation as well. You love to see it. We whiff a heal, which is not too great. We definitely like to not whiff that, but oh well. That's how the cookie crumbles. But now we get to ride the resist card. I'm wondering. Oh. See, this might actually do some work for me, especially if he plays the Amon Legion. We could kind of punish it, so I'm going to ride the resist, because I don't think there's anything I need to be too worried about. I guess outside of Amon's skill, but I'm going to have a back row most times. I don't need to use the grade 3 Searcher either, so I can let that die to the Amon skill, I guess, later on. Because I have enough grade 3s, so I don't want to like thin out all my draws out of my deck. He checks the defensive heal. Is this heal an Amon card too? No, she's not. Her name is Alice, though. Nice to meet you. Fantastic. Very cool. All right. Looks like my opponent might be having a little bit of a high ping issue here. High ping, you know, of course, not allowing my opponent to connect as quickly to our game, but it's fine. I also have a daily to do today, which is to play 2 ranked games, so this works out perfectly, you know. While playing BRO, I can run my dailies. I can do my DP clan fight challenge fights as well. I didn't do enough of them during the Ibuki raid up, so now I might have to buy the Taiyo skin so you guys can have a Gurgut animation when I do that. But luckily the other Gurgut forms, like luckily Taiyo becomes kind of a main character in the future, so it's actually not a bad skin to pick up. And I wouldn't say that his future skins are that much better than the current one, so I guess it's fine. He soul charges 2 heals, which puts back 2 non-heal Guardian heals back to his deck, which is kind of funny. So he's out of 3 heal Guardians, but he still has heals in deck, which is like, I guess it's fine. Like if he draws into them, they're 5Ks, so I don't really mind too much. How's my man soul looking? Oh, Dimension Creeper picked up. That's pretty huge. 19k column on the side too. It's actually fairly annoying. All right, even if we hit a defensive here, we're still gonna get pushed to 3 damage, and we don't actually hit, or we don't get to do striding action on our next turn either. So he's gonna ride Vanquisher, probably call down the Chain Bolt, call down the Voltage Horn, and then pass. So we'll see how things go on that front. All right, no defensives. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. But we have the Voltage Horn, so at least we can do stuff with that. He can use a starter now to put into the Soul, draw 2 and put 1 card from hand into Soul. So I'm assuming he's going to charge up the Amon base form into the Soul, or Dimension Creeper. That's also a good card to Soul charge because you'll be able to Soul Blast those out in order to get 2 more extra Soul, basically going to 11. We pick up another grade 3, which is also grade 2, which is also nice. Gonna ride the Vanquisher here. Let Mide-chan queue it in. I could push, but I kind of want to play a bit passively. As much as I'm a little bit worried about the damage count, as I don't have 2 other intercepts in hand, I'm going to play it a little bit safe here and just whack for 1 damage. We can kind of play the long, lame game against this deck too. PG would have been great in hand. Would have been great in hand. He sees a draw and confirms that he plays the Amon Legion. I'm assuming he's going to ride Amon Legion in Stride here, which will give me the opportunity to bind whatever he discards, which is pretty good because chances are they will be picking up that sweet, you know, going to be dropping a trigger most likely, unless he has found his Stride Fodders. So we'll see. We'll see. Could be a Stride Fodder. I would not be necessarily surprised. All right. Let's see here. Amon Cross Ride. Amon Reverse. That's not the Legion. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine for me. That is definitely fine for me. So where is this gonna go now? Where is this gonna go? He is striding. What did he discard? I didn't actually catch it. I did not actually catch it. Amon regular. Alright, goes into the Amon Stride. So what does this do? Once per turn, if your heart is an Amon, counterblast 1 for that turn. For every 5 soul you have, 2 of your Amon rearguards gain plus 3k. And then, if you have 5 or more soul, choose an opponent's randomly choose an opponent's rearguard and retire it. And if you have 10 or more soul, then this unit gains a crit. And if you have 15 or more soul, choose opponent's rearguard and retire it. Hey, the resist works out. But he only, oh, he has 10 soul. That's actually kind of a lot. That's actually a fair amount. It's a fair amount. That's kind of scary. It's kind of spoopy, man. Alright, well, he gets the crit. He's gonna push me a fair bit here, huh? Can swing into rear, swing into Van, and then check my PG pretty early. And then I'm gonna basically be struggling to clear out this drop zone with my Zoras, because then I can get rid of this grade 1 after hitting. But I don't have any grade 1s, and my hand is a little bit weak. We check a heal, which is good. My PG gets saved. I'm gonna go to 5, but it's okay. And also having heals in the drop is good for me, because that means that I will be able to Legion them back with the Vermilion Legion, if I do find it. I'm quite okay with like the starter dying there, to be honest. Like I could have, if I remembered what this card did, I could have technically used it and gotten a card in hand instead. But I don't want to thin out all my draws from deck, so I would like to check them instead. But we're going to go to 5 here. Alright, doesn't check a crit or anything, but he did check 2 of them. These Amons are going. There's no Legioning happening this game. I think he didn't... he does have an Amon in Soul. Unfortunate. Okay. Well, that's fine. Two blanks after that, so that is okay. That is understandable. Have a nice day. Opponent has a 7-card hand, so he definitely has a way to replace this field going into the next turn. Another Vanquisher. Okay. Right, skip. We stride into Zoras. Putting this down. Please draw me into a grade 1. That's all I'm asking for here. Just draw me into a grade 1 so I can hit this damn Vanguard, please. I beg you. Yes! I'll take that. I have enough Stride Fodders in hand. Get rid of the intercept. So we're going to bind it away. Goodbye, goodbye. Adios, amigo. Okay, so I think we want to use this just to bind as much as possible at this point. And this will be the random retire as well from the Stride if he uses that, or I guess he can also retire with this. So I kind of wish I had the resists now. The cross ride is definitely making this a little bit annoying, but I think it's fine. We're going to swing here with the rearguard circle first, and bind the grade 1, and also bind 2 cards from the drop. So let's get rid of these Amons first and foremost. Goodbye. Okay, so no more Legioning back triggers for you. They're gone for good. So we'll push our opponent to 4. If we can get a heal somewhere, or, you know, drive check PGs, that's also good. If we can get a heal, this would be excellent. Another PG goes to the bottom. I think that's 2 now, which is pretty unfortunate. NGL on God. For real, for real. But it's okay. We got 2 PGs and an intercept. Surely my opponent will stride and randomly retire and will not stay on the cross right and pinpoint retire my intercept. Right? Right? Let's find out. I'm in a bit of a pickle, not gonna lie. It's a bit of a dangerous situation, but I don't know what else I could have done here. Like, calling down the Vanquishers makes no sense because they don't hit. So I'd rather keep these for stride fodder. You know. So let's see. Please stride something. Please stride something. Please stride something. Praying. Oh, he's striding. There's hope. There's hope. Please don't soul charge 5. Please don't soul charge 5. I beg you. He can go to 12 soul with what he has right now. Please don't soul charge 5. Please don't have 3. No, that's 2. That's 2. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. Uh-oh. If he gets one more, I'm screwed. No, he had it. He had it. I'm gonna die to Amon. He's gonna kill my intercept. Please don't have a way to make this be a real attack that hits. Please attack Vanguard first, so I can PG. And then just chill and hit no triggers. I beg you. I'm scared. 8 cards in deck. Surely he's gonna hit triple draw. And some of the draws will activate twice and he'll deck out, right? Oh no, I forgot about the power. The power. Wait! Damn it. Got my hopes up, man. I saw the retire to the background. I was like, that. Oh, I'm good. I was like, oh wait, never mind. This game is so copium. This game is so painful. Why am I losing to Amon? That's not what the script said. That's not what the script said. I have to check 2 heals now. But you know what? He definitely deserves this win. He played well. He played well. I definitely underestimated the Amon deck. And my opponent is an excellent player. And is going to defeat me here with this extra crit. Unless we check back-to-back heals, which could happen. We have 2 heals in deck. You know, never say never. There's still one more check to go. One more check to go. Come on. Alright, it's a PG. That's good for me. If I survive here, it's over. It's over, buddy. You don't even know. Alright, please. Get your hands together, guys. Prayers in the chat, in the comments. I'm begging. Please show me a heal. Damn it, I got my hopes up. I saw a trigger icon. Alright, GG's to my opponent. That was honestly really well played. He played really, really well, showing off that Amon is a threat after Fighters Collection that needs to be factored in. That was well played. Alright, let's play game 2 now. It is also the next day that I'm recording this because I recorded that last game right before the NAV Premium Tournament started, and I was pretty happy with my result. I actually was going 6-1 going into round 8, and then my round 8 was shown on stream and I lost. Then I was 6-2, and then round 9 started at my 3 a.m. and I was super sleepy and kept making misplays and sadly lost as a result. So that's a bit of an unfortunate ending, but I still finished 25th out of like 300 and plus people, like 300 something, which is for me pretty good considering it's my first serious tournament in 2 years. So now I'm going to do my best for standard. Maybe I should start tryharding for 0 again too, because I really enjoy the game right now. But anyway, second opponent, let's have a good match. It's going to be against Shadow Paladin. Been seeing a lot of these in the meta lately, a lot of these popping up in the ladder. And Full Bow Brave Starter, we don't see this one too often. So this allows them to put it into the Soul Camus 1 to search your deck for any blaster, but it's on GB1, so you cannot like search out grade 2s when you're grade stuck and things like that. But we are going to see a full Diablo build, so we have to be really careful about our field so we don't randomly get sniped completely and obliterated into the sun. You know, we don't want that. So here, like, I almost want to keep the grade 3, the Stride Fodder, because I might need to search for Vanquisher, but I'm gonna need these PGs. Like, this matchup is kind of scary. I need these PGs right now. So I'm gonna just rely on my grade 3 searcher. That's why we do run it, and pray that I manage to find my Vanquisher off the top. The worst would be if we have to ride like Vermilion or something, but here's hoping that we don't have to do that. And our opponent's playing some interesting cards. This is like in the main, but it's a GB1, so I don't personally rate it that highly. This was a regionals promo in the TCG. It was actually pretty hard to get. Or like, you had to go to regionals to get it, so it wasn't that hard to get, but it was pretty exclusive. So if you have 1 or less rear guards, you get +2k on GB1, and when you attack it to Vanguard on GB1, if you have 1 or less back row rear guards, countercharge 1, soul charge 1, which is pretty good. We find a heal here, so we're staying on 1 damage, which is pretty good. He tried to do an early push, but didn't get much out of it. So we're gonna just ride up here, if I can access my hands. That'd be fantastic. Right into the Voltage Horn, and let's try to find the Vanquisher here. And we also have Rising Phoenix for this turn, which is also very good. So hopefully we do find Vanquisher. Oh, it's the Vermilion! That's what I said I don't want. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Please, draw into Stride Fodder, I beg. Please, 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 no. I guess I can push some aggro here. That doesn't necessarily hurt. Not finding what I need really hurts here. I'll push the 3, but having to ride the Vermilion is not it. It's definitely not it. That's the risky run, you know, running this combination of grade 3s, but at the same time it's the correct combination of grade 3s with what you're given, right? So it's a little bit disappointing, especially because that's our first stride turn, and I'm just praying to top deck into the Vanquisher and just be able to discard this Vermilion real quick. Otherwise, we're in a bit of trouble. No draws either from our side. We haven't seen a single one yet. And we do play 9. So, well, we have 1 in hand, but there's still 8 in the deck and we haven't checked a single one. So, would like to see some soon. Our opponent is going to heal out. We see no draws, which means surely we're going to draw into the Vanquisher here, right? You see, I am a man who likes a challenge sometimes. And that challenge might just be... But what do I even discard? There's nothing good to discard. I think we literally ride Vermilion, stride into Zoran. But it sucks because we can't bind anything. We can't bind the front row without Vanquisher. And we can't... the only way to... I can't bind anything. I think I want to like swing with Chatara and hit to draw. Because from what I know, Zoran does not draw any cards. I think I have to. I think we have to go for this, which really sucks. And just rewrite later. Yep. Writing back Vermilion. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Just to like build up the G-Zone as well so we can hit our GB2 stride a bit sooner, I guess. So it's really not that great, but it is what it is. You know, sometimes you do break, it happens. We find the Vermilion Legion. It's not what I want either. For the time being, we're gonna just do this. And swing into the rears here. We have Stride Fodder for next turn, I suppose. It's not the end of the world. But for here, I just want to draw with this Chatara because I'm not seeing my draws whatsoever. Hello? Do I play draw triggers? Or do I play literally just 40 cards that do not have a trigger symbol? Watch me draw into a heal or something. I swear to God. I swear to God if I do. Okay, that's a resist. Let's put away your triggers. I'll put the heal away in case he runs a Legion or something. Don't want no sneaky Legions up in here. No sneaky Legions for me, please. So worst case, we can rewrite into the Legion. But I'd like to hold that until we have like a bunch of heals in drop after we've guarded with them, or like heal this one out after drive checking. That'd be also pretty cool. But for the time being, I'm gonna play it safe. Goes into Aura Geyser. That is a good pickup. That is a good pickup. He gets to... It doesn't have any retire now on my side, right? Because the only way to retire when you stride over the Blaster Dark Diablo is to stride into Phantom Blaster Diablo, which he's not going to do yet. And, well, I mean, he can't because it doesn't have the GB count for it. It needs GB2. But I do need to be wary of that for next turn. And I might just have to hold. Thing is, if I get pushed to 4 here and I don't heal out, that means that I'm in big danger for future turns. Simply because I then have to hold a Degree 3 in hand to not lose. But I need stride. Was that 2 PGs? It was 2 PGs. Hello, draws. Draw triggers. You exist, maybe? Perhaps? Well, okay, that's a Degree 3. That is a Degree 3. I don't like what I have to do. I don't like what I have to do. But let's go into the GB2 stride. We have 2 pairs for a reason, right? We can afford to burn one early. But this game is really not going my way. This game is really not going away. Wait, please, give me an attacker. You're not an attacker. I need to keep the Grade 3 in hand. I need to keep the Grade 3 in hand. I suppose we can do this. With this, we still hit. I suppose we still hit with this. I have to play very conservatively. Otherwise, I'm going to be in huge trouble here. Going to be in omega trouble. But luckily now our numbers do hit nicely. And I can hold the Stride Fodder and the Grade 3 in hand to fight off the Diablo, which is going to come swinging, while pushing my opponent to 5. Finally a draw trigger. Seeing the Vanquisher, I'm not super happy. Going that into the drop, we get another draw into PG, that's also good. So we're starting to finally see the draw triggers, right? As long as we can take this game to the late game, we will start drawing eventually. But so far, man, I wish I was seeing more of them. I do wish I was seeing more of them. Alright, we're at 4 damage. Our opponent's probably going to go into Diablo here. He has 4 face-up damage, but he's going to have to sacrifice quite a bit of a board to go into this. Oh no, he's going into the... What's his name again? Ebunishen. Ebunishen? I forgot his English name, to be honest. TBH. NGL, on God. Alright, he's going to do the skill, retiring it to get 7k, and the on-hit skill to retire opponent's rear guard, which he'll now have twice. So he will be able to give away my grade 1, which is, you know, good for my opponent. Not sure for this. Does he play stands? Is that why he called this down? Okay. break right PBD coming down here as well. You know, people are really just grasping at whatever at this point to make sure that this deck does its work. We do heal out the heal. That's pretty good. We could make it a point to ride this at this point, but honestly I do want to hold on to it. It is Soul though, which is kind of nice, because then I can use Rising Phoenix. So I can ride this, use Rising Phoenix to draw, then Legion, swing rear, and then swing Van, and while taking out the front row for free. You know what, let's do that. I think that's actually fine, because this way we can start recycling the heal and the Vanquishers back into the deck too, which I think is worth it. I just like being able to use a second Rising Phoenix here. No striding. We're gonna first activate this to get the Vanquisher, sorry, not the Vanquisher, the Vermilion out of the soul. Draw into another, that's fine. Let's Legion. Putting back the heal, Vanquisher most importantly, Vermilion has to go back too, and we can put the Legion as well back in here. A lot of grade 2s are gone actually, which is a little bit concerning. Could have sent some of those back, but triggers are always going to be nice no matter what. So we are going to take those. We are going to take those. Their Legion pair looks very nice. Their arts are beautiful, I gotta say. I really do gotta say. Numbers are a little odd here. And I only have one heal in deck that I just sent back, so I'm going to risk it for Biscuit. And actually swing with rear first. Let's activate the Vermilion skill for free, which is really nice. We get to, you know, nullify our own cost, which is excellent. So we get to attack the whole front row for free. I do want to hold back the rest of this hand though for the Stride Fodders and potential rewrite if I need it. So we're going to just swing here into the face. He might heal off here too. He gets a draw instead, so that rear column would not have hit otherwise. But we're going to take out both those attacks. Vanquisher checked instead of drawn. Unfortunate. Second check finds us nothing but PG, so no heal guards left in hand. That is vital information, because we know that he has 2 PGs to the bottom. So I think that should be the last PG in hand actually, which would be nice if it is. Would be excellent if it is. But of course now I need to be careful. I have 1 grade 3 in hand now to, you know, for the PBD, which I'm assuming he wants to go into at this point. As long as he can field the 3 cards to retire for the cost. Bad Bar card going to be discarded for the Strike Fodder. I am assuming here it's going to be PBD. Yup. Phantom Blaster Diablo. The SP as well. That is a beautiful SP. So we can only retire my back row because the front row has a resist. That is a very beautiful SP. I gotta hand it to him. I gotta hand it to him. That is beautiful. Dripped out, as the kids would say. Alright, he gets to finally use his, you know, GB1 Nemain is what the word I was looking for. Oh, this is kind of yikes, though. Wait, he didn't activate the skill, did he? So he didn't actually have the cards he wanted to sacrifice? I guess he wants to keep the board, which makes sense, right? He has 2 grade 2s, which he doesn't want to get rid of. But what else is in his hand? Because we know that... Wait, I think his next card is a PG, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Alright, we draw into our last heal. At this point, we can just stay on the Legion. Somehow this turned into like a Legion deck and fight, but we can stay on the Legion and make attacks. Because otherwise we only retire 1 and we get 2 attacks to face, whereas here we can get 3 attacks to face potentially if he is holding like heal guards and you know, other components in his hand. So we're gonna play it safe here. Well, safe in quotations. Safe in quotations, you know, keep that in mind. I'm not gonna search the Vanquisher, it is too late for that at this point. Alright, let's activate the skill here. So we do lose to 6 damage heal, but I'm gonna pray for that to not happen and attack into the front row here. So this, somehow, you know, you got to see 2 sides of the deck throughout these 2 games. Double heal guard. That means he has no PG in hand, so this should normally be game, and I think he doesn't have any heals left in deck either. I think those were the 2 last ones of the deck, so this should normally be game. Well played to our opponent. That was turned into, you know, the Vermilion side of the deck somehow, so GG's. Alright, I've decided I'm feeling nice. I'll give you guys one more game. Ooh, playing as Metal Borgs. I have been, well, I'm assuming this is Metal Borg, sorry. I am assuming. We're going first, that's not great. Especially against Metal Borg. That's actually really rough. That is really rough, especially against Metal Borgs. I want to keep this hand, because at least with this I'll search the Vanquisher if necessary, so I'll just put the 2 heals back. What are these opening hands, dude? I do not know what I'm seeing. What is the game feeding me? Oh, okay, he doesn't run the ride jump starter, so that's actually a good thing for me, surprisingly. A good thing. Alright, I will hope my grade 3 searcher does not give me something bad this time around. I will use that first before I commit anything else. Just to see if we can draw into the Vanquisher. Laurel. Okay, so this is already quite different from the build I've been testing. I'm testing like a pure metal Borg, like basically very much focused on like riding up and like superior legioning, I guess you can call it. So let me boost my life a little bit. But that's kind of the build I was testing, and it's actually pretty good. Okay, 3 of my heals are out. Luckily I play legions. Luckily I play legions, so this might not be the end of the world. I hope. I sincerely hope. Alright. Voltage Horn is going to be ridden into. This is why some people play like the grade 3 searcher, grade 2, but it's never really come up for me. Luckily we find the Vanquisher this time around. That is good. We're going to just swing and pass for the rest of this turn though. No need to overstay our welcome. Alright, he also whips a heal. Maybe he also has 2 heals in hand. Well, which isn't a bad thing, right? You do want some heals in hand, because they are more defensive cards for you to work with. Alright, right into the 12k attacker. So, probably also... I mean, if he has another 12k attacker, this could be an annoying little push. Or that. That also works. Alright, that's going to be 9 to Van. No trigger. But check it defensive does shut down the turn, but of course I'm not counting on it. But we do get it into a PG, which is also excellent. But with this, I don't really have a way to take out this front row because I draw into a stride fodder that I don't really feel like putting down either. But by not giving him 2 CB, we're denying the Heavy Duke, so I'm gonna actually just swing rear here. Swing rear, and we're gonna deny the Heavy Duke, because if you give him 2 CB, you're also just giving up, like letting them potentially draw from the Heavy Duke. But I guess they don't really go into the Heavy Duke like that. Usually they Legion first, and then the Heavy Duke. So we'll see. Yeah, you guys are getting a treat, you know. You're watching this in like set 2 format, I'm assuming, but you're getting all these like set 3 games, which is good. Which is good, you know. It's nice to get an early treat, right? It's nice to get a little early treat and see what's coming up in the future. Will he work hard for this Legion, or is he just gonna swing pass? He gave up striding, which is pretty big. Oh no! Oh, don't do that! Oh, don't! No, it's not. Heavy Duke is a good card, but not that good. Not that good. Also, there's nothing to retire. Oh no, I do not agree with overcalling a Heal Guardian. I do not agree with overcalling a Heal Guardian, but he is going to commit to it. Maybe it's going to work out. He gets to push a lot of damage this turn and draw a card on top of that from the Sinbuster skill. I wonder how he's going to push the last bit of power. He's going for the Laurel. Okay. Alright, I mean, that's fine. I guess with this, yeah, okay, he has to draw 2 cards, but he just committed his whole hand. Nothing to defend with. And he's boosting with the Laurel? Just to hit the... But the 30k doesn't do anything, because I'm not guarding. So it's better to swing unboosted here and then boost the second one, but... I mean, I guess he's chosen this path. Sorry, I'm just... Since I play, like, when it's a deck that I play a fair bit, I get a little bit more critical, is what I'm noticing. Okay, he gets to draw a fair bit. Did he just check double? No, he checked 1 draw. Alright, so he gets to restand. Alright, he drew from Sinbuster, drew from the grade 1, drew from the draw, and now he draws again from the Sinbuster, and then he'll draw again from this too, which is nice. And gets to recoup his hand. Checks another draw trigger as well, so he's going to go back up to 6 cards at least. Yep, 6 cards is going to be from 0. 0 to 6 is actually pretty strong, and that's not talking about damage. Let's be clear about that one. Okay, well... Another PG is found for me, which is good. But now I'm going to start to deny some of these legions. Letting him set up that drop zone. I mean, he really had to work hard for that, right? He worked hard to set up that drop zone. So I'll let him have it. He will be allowed it. But these Urbusters are going bye-bye now. Bye-bye-bye. No more legion mates for you, buddy. Alright, I think I have enough. I might... Question mark. Might have enough. Stride fodders here. I'm just thinking how I want to attack here, because this needs to be boosted to use its bind skill, but I don't think I really care about it as much, so I might just like call down a column of the chain bolt plus the stride fodder just to push a bit of damage and push my opponent to 3 and bind that Laurel. Maybe it's going to be a random hit, so doesn't necessarily have to hit there, but I think it's a bit of a YOLO play. It could come back to bite me, but I'm gonna go for it. I want to equalize the damage a little bit. And this is still a fine column to attack into. With, he whiffs a heal, which is good. That's 2 out here as well for both of us. Wait, is it also 2 out for me? That means all of mine are out. Oops. Okay, we get a draw. Excellent. That's a stride fodder for next turn. Or an attacker, alternatively. Okay, so now we're gonna get to... Yes! It hits the Laurel. And we say goodbye to these two. No more relegioning or taking back the grade 3s either, because of course this deck does play. So the thing is, they play Medu, because when you stride over a Legion that has a 9k Legion mate with Medu, you get to salvage a grade 3 from hand, back like from your drop zone back to your hand. And so it lets you basically, like, you know, you can stride with whatever cost and then get back your Sinbuster from drop, which is really, really nice. It's gonna go for the Heavy Duke, so this will have an extra crit. Unless he attacks with two things, in which case gonna ask for a grade 3 with my PG, which is fine, I drew that. Of course, would have lost if I didn't, so we should definitely be a bit more careful with that, as I am casually forgetting about the Heavy Duke. But this is coming in with an extra crit. It's gonna draw 1 for every hit it does too, so his hand is not going down whatsoever. That's the power of, like, I've been playing this deck and not really feeling the threat of it. Okay, check the PG, which is pretty huge. 2 PGs, which is extra huge, which means he's not drawing into those. So that's good news for me. We get another draw trigger, which is good. Alright, we will be striding with a grade 1 though, because I don't want to risk dropping off. Oh, nice, I'm glad he attacked the stride fodder, because I do want to call something over that there. Now then, I think here we want to probably go for the GB2 stride to also push our columns a little bit to make better numbers. So I think this will be the play once again. Let's put down the Vermilion? I think stride fodder is better. In case we have, you know, we gotta keep these grade 3s because we'll probably have to like randomly discard them for the PG costs. So gotta be careful there. Gotta be a little bit careful. We draw into a grade 2. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Okay, let's retire and bind this boy, the grade 2 10k. And then we can bind this grade 3 as well. This gives power to the Vanguard, which isn't the best target, but it's okay as well. And here we're gonna go in with this, I want to say. So now we'll be able to swing for good numbers and push for lethal as well, which is always appreciated. So with this, we retire the front, and now we can push. We have nice numbers, and we're still in heal range, although I do not have any heals left in the deck. Alright, then we can swing with this guy. This will allow us to... Is it random? Yes. Well, it doesn't target the resist, so we get to bind 2 cards. So let's bind these 2. None of that for you anymore, my dear friend. And then here we are basically 1 trigger away from hitting for over a heal guard. But I think most of my triggers are out anyway, so I don't expect to hit any, and we do not. A PG comes out though, so that's 3 down. So only 1 PG remains basically, and no heal guards in hand, which is very important because otherwise the heal guard would have actually procced there. So that's good information for us. Otherwise, I think we should be safe. We have a PG lined up for the Vanguard attack with a grade 3 that we can discard, and we have, you know, heal guards, more PGs, and a stride fodder for next turn, so we can still take care of the entire front row no matter what. Heavy Duke comes through once more. Gonna be using all of that CB that our opponent has accrued to try and take me out this turn, which is, you know, props where it's due. He has a very solid chance of doing it here. He's powering up the Vanguard, which I really like, because this way he turns off my chance to heal guard as easily. And committing the Laurel too, okay. I kind of like that, but I would not be going for a Laurel turn here. I think you definitely want to swing. Well, the thing is, you can swing rear guard into rear guard. Oh, he's swinging Van into rear. That's interesting, okay. This is... He has a higher chance to hit the PGs from the bottom. Healing down is pretty big too. It makes me work a bit harder. So this draw 2, he might actually hit his PGs. I'm not sure how far he's advanced into his stack, because I think the 2 PGs were at the very bottom of the stack earlier, and these are his first drive checks. So he shouldn't have drawn into them yet. Not just yet, but we're definitely getting there. Alright, Heavy Duke coming in now with lethal damage. Does have double grade 2 in the front row, so it is a little pesky. Alright, and coming in with the on-hit with a crit. Alright, grade 1 followed by the PG. So next card should be a PG. Oh no, it's a heal. Was there a shuffle? What caused him to shuffle there? Because I thought there was 2 PGs stacked. Well, regardless, all his heals are out, which is reassuring. No, that was the 1 PG I didn't account for yet. That was the 1 PG that wasn't accounted for. Okay, that's important to know. Okay, we're going to the GB2 stride again. We need it. We need it badly right now, I would say. Okay, so we go into the Conquest. What do we draw into? Another Vermilion. That's going to be a keep in hand for me, because of course, you know, Sinbuster still has his pressure too. Alright, we can bind the PG so it can't countercharge. Let's do that. So you guys can get to see here as well the strength of like the bind engine in its full glory. Alright, G Persona Blast. So this will let us retire this, give the power up, and now we're ready to get swinging, get swanging. This does have an on-hit, but I'm gonna not prioritize that as much. And here I could swing with a 23, but if I check 2... Wait, I don't think I have triggers in deck. I have 1. If I check 2 triggers, this goes to 33, which asks for more, but 28 is still within heal guard range, so we're gonna try to check for that first. Show me heal guard. He does not find one. Chatara will actually hit, so even if he heals, but he does not have any heals left in deck, so that's gonna be a very solid game. And so that, I think that's basically showed also how you want to be playing the Vanquisher deck, right? That first game was a little bit like odd, you know, we just kind of got killed by Amon there, but game 2 was all about the Vermilion Legion, and game 3 was nice and clean, simple and clean, as some might say. Vanquisher game. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Rare 3 deck and fight, but you know, I definitely owe it to you guys because this video has been coming for a long time. So I apologize for all the delays for the set 2 deck and fights. It's just been very busy lately. So I'm gonna try my best throughout the winter break to push out as much content for both TCG and Zero for you guys. But hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Make sure to mess around with it when it comes out into global. And if you're playing JP, the deck is still very strong, as you guys can see. And you can also combine it with brawlers, which is also very cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, and if you like the content, please do subscribe. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.